Day one of reviewing every book I read. I stopped working in English a while ago, so I think that I'm getting quite rusty. And one of the goals here is to keep using the language in order not to lose it. So, the first book that I will be talking about is No Longer Human by Osamu Dazai. So I finished reading No Longer Human about a week ago, and it was quite an interesting experience. And that would be a word to describe it, like interesting. I wouldn't say nice, it was interesting. The book was great, was phenomenal, but it was mostly interesting. Why do I say that the book is interesting and not necessarily nice? Okay, the first thing to take into consideration while talking about this book is that No Longer Human takes you to very dark places in the eyes of the protagonist. The story is presented to the reader as three different journals written by an anonymous person who is telling you his story. It would be like a journey through his own life, something like that. It is him like telling you everything that was going on in his mind through different stages of his life. And there is an idea that you have to keep in mind while reading this book, and that would be the concept of being alienated, of being a human being, and what being worthy or unworthy of being a human being actually means to the narrator of the story. The narrator starts talking about his childhood and how he never felt like he belonged to humanity. And that is interesting because you get to see this person's childhood and he feels lonely. You care about him, you even relate to some of the things that he says. But when you get to see his life moving forward, everything changes because everything turns way darker and you stop relating to this person and you see how he chose some really dark paths and how that same indifference and maybe that same loneliness regarding humanity that he used to feel when he was a child starts becoming quite dangerous as he grows old. And as we see him getting older, we see him become quite an awful person, and that is directly related to the feeling that he expresses in the first journal where he says that he felt like he didn't belong to humanity. And what's interesting is that the way he manages to move forward with life, having that feeling, is with indifference. And when you move forward in life with indifference, you may actually damage people in the way, and he does exactly that. I'm trying not to spoil anything and to express myself as clear as I can since I am not a native English speaker. But I actually think that it was great